on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sports Cast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sports Cast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
All righty, we're right. Let's get ready to rumble. Great week of football. Let's get it going. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is November 21st, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast on all our channels, YouTube, X, Spotify, iTunes. And if you have we're streaming on all your podcast channels, please leave us a rating and a review. It'll help us out tremendously. Don't forget to smash the like button. You like our show, subscribe, get some notifications, and you can hear our show anytime you want. And we have some back shows. You can see some of the predictions, some of the debates, and some of the discussions we had about things that are happening today, like some of the stuff with Daniel Jones and Mr. Byron Jones. They're not related, by the way. All right, so let's get going. Mr. Byron Jones, how are you doing today? How's your weather?
It's in the 30s, man. It's supposed to, in the northern part of Pennsylvania, it's supposed to be snowing up there, like the Pocono area, whatever. It's supposed to be 37 degrees around here. It was 60-something the other day. And yes, the winter is slowly getting here.
It is. It's going to be cold this weekend for us.
What 60?
Yeah. But that's nice for us, bro. It's really nice. All right, let's go in the green room. We're waiting for it because it's been a big week with the Ravens and the Steelers. Let's add to our show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Joey Bag of Donuts, Joey Toscano from the Donut Bag. How are you? And you ready to talk some great sports today? I'm excited when you come on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we got a lot of sports to talk. A lot of good, crazy stuff is happening. So let's get right to it. Let me get to my agenda here. Hold on. All righty. So the first thing is Mr. Byron, Mr. Daniel Jones. Giants benching QB Daniel Jones for Tommy Cutlets. How's the reaction over in that area, the tri-state area, and how's your reaction? You're heartbroken because you already gave up on him a couple weeks ago, so I don't know why you're heartbroken. I think you gave up on him when Joey was on the show.
No, the reason why, I changed my mind.
Again, you changed your mind. Oh my God!
I changed my mind, and the reason why I changed my mind is because when he gave us, his speech today, as far as last time, like being out in the audience, he stepped up there like a man. He admitted, some of the things he did and didn't do, and wish things could have been better. And he basically, my thing is he never pointed a finger at anybody. Never had any bad, things to say about anybody. People, throwing the ball, guys catching the ball, not catching the ball. He never tried to show anybody up. And basically, he went up there like a man. And that's it. That's all I have to say about that. But he did what I expected him to do, and I'm glad for him, for his next, adventure, wherever that may be. But yes, it is time to turn the page on my guy, Daniel Jones.
So I will tell you, I didn't hear that, so I'm going to listen to it later. One, he's always been a stand-up guy. He never played. You got to, remember, he's from Duke. It's a good university. He's a smart kid. He's never really issued blame anywhere else. The one thing I can say of Daniel, never done that, number one. Number two, he's not going to be out of the NFL because he will be on a team that, there's no way with the backups. I mean, look with Geno Smith. I mean, Colt McCoy. Daniel Jones, I think he would be a great backup for Miami. You know what I mean? He won't be out of the NFL, and he's getting paid some serious money, so it is what it is. Joey, what are your thoughts on them benching Daniel Jones and moving on to DeVito?
I think it is all about the tank. They have decided to maximize their profits and just go for next year. And hey, that's okay. You're not going to win it this year, so let's just cut our losses and go for. If they really wanted to try to win, they would have went to Drew Lock, but they decided, okay, we're done. We're tanking next year. Let's get a high draft pick. And that's how you do it in the NFL. You don't, if you're not first, you're last. So go be last. Go be last. Go get that high draft pick. Go for it. But being 7 and 10 or whatever does you no good. Drafting 15th or whatever, or 10th or whatever. Go draft, in the top 5. Go get somebody good. So hey, yeah, sure. Tank. But that's exactly what they're doing. They are tanking.
But I'm thinking what
Byron.
they're doing is that you have Drew Lock is making $5 million a year. You got Danny Vito's at 800,000, thereabouts a year, and Drew Lock's contract, he has incentives as far as if he plays 40% of the time, 50% of the time, 60% of the time, and it's a money issue. That as far they don't want to have to pay him, another dollar, Drew Lock. That's why they went to this guy because he probably doesn't have that kind of same things in his contract. It's all about the money. The Giants organization is horrible. Yeah, that's the only way you can say it. It's horrible right now. I'm old enough to remember when, back in the day when, Pete Rose, the commissioner at the time had to step in because they were feuding, at the top where they had the, well, you know what, you need to pick this guy George Young, to right this ship, and that's what they did, and it's like it's the same thing again. You have the two biggest markets are the two worst teams in the NFL by far.
Let me just say real quick, the Giants have definitely lost their way. This is not the team of Bill Parcells and Lawrence Taylor and all those guys that were just, was good every single year. They have officially lost
What about
their way.
Coughlin? Coughlin's team, Manning's team.
Coughlin's teams are fine. They were good. They were good too. But they have this administration. Whoever's running it now is a joke, and it's sad. It's sad. The Giants are a joke right now. Everybody's laughing at the Giants, and that's sad. This is a proud franchise, and people are laughing at it.
Okay, timeout. Byron.
Yes, sir.
Well, I want to stay on Daniel Jones, but I want to get to the Eagle fans chanting, "Thank you, Giants."
Yeah.
Thank you, Giants. I mean, I told you. I mean, Saquon, I know you're a hater, but I like to see that good. We're gonna get to the Philly in a little bit. All right, let me tell you my take on Jones and Locke, right? Byron, I think you bring up good points, the money issue and so forth. Number one. Number two, Joe, I'm not look. I mean, I think there may be some, based on what you said, I could see it your way about that they're looking to get the high draft pick. I'm still not convinced on teams trying to tank because you got NFL players there that are still looking for spots, are still looking to get paid. It's really hard. I just don't think you guys would just start, the guys that are making money, they're not going to risk injury. Right, if everything's going down. I think that one, it's the money issue that Byron brought up, and two, they got nothing to lose. Why pay this other guy? I'm already stuck paying Daniel Jones. Remember, they also had the clause if he got hurt, he got guaranteed an additional $23 million. So that was a decision. Again, money. The other thing is, DeVito did give him a little spark last year. So why not add some spark? The fans were asking for it. I mean, you can't get any worse. Remember, Byron, you and I had the argument of run the ball. Dallas, why aren't you running the ball? Well, you can't run the ball if you can't. Again, if you don't keep trying to run the ball, we wouldn't have found Tracy, right? We wouldn't have come out. This kid's going to be a pretty good back. I mean, with that line and how he's producing, DeVito, you don't know. Hold on a second. You don't know if DeVito is look, when the 49ers played Brock Purdy, nobody thought anything was going to happen, and they had no choice but to play Brock Purdy, right? And people are, how it is. It's a what, a copycat league. When they did the what is it when the line? I forgot the Dolphins started it when the running back is in the back. Byron, what is the
Wildcat? Wildcat.
when the Giants started when the Dolphins started the Wildcat, everybody started doing the Wildcat, right? When you do the brotherly love, the push, everyone else started trying to do the push, right? So people are praying they can get an $800,000 quarterback for 3 or 4 years to deliver like Brock Purdy. But you ain't got a Kyle Shanahan that's produced. Look at all the coaches he's produced. So for me, I think Daniel Jones has a chance of playing somewhere else and doing really good. I think he has a chance of being a good backup. I think he's got some longevity in the league if he doesn't get hurt again. And, the Giants are terrible. Just terrible. The organization is a disaster. Byron, we talked about in the beginning of the year. The ownership is just a disaster. And then one last thing, Byron, I want you to come in here is, I just laugh as I was talking to a gentleman in our building, Joe. Shout out to Joe from Little Laureate. And he asked me a question, which we'll get into in a little bit, is my question is, how do you sit down across the table at a family dinner with the Rooneys? And how does one family not look at the other family like, hey, why are you so stupid? How this is embarrassing that we're in the same bloodline now, right? We married into a stupid organization. Okay, I mean, they got to get together sometime. They're related. I mean, Mara Rooney, she's an actress. That's her name. You know what I mean? I mean, Kate Rooney. I mean, Kate Mara. I mean, they're Rooney Maras. So there's no way they're not getting together for dinner. And how are you not ducking your head? I'm telling you, the Mara family are the servants to the Rooneys when it's dinner time. That's all I got to say.
It's like at Thanksgiving when you have when the whole family comes together. And you have that one brother or sister that's really successful, and that one that just is a complete mess up. It's like oh well, we just have to put up with this schlub.
But this is worse. It's like two attorneys. One is like on unemployment, and the other one is successful, and they're in the same practice. So this is not one's successful, one's not, because they had a different career choice. These are two, surgeons, right? That have the capability of making millions of dollars, which is still worth billions, right? But your team sucks. Byron, you were saying?
Okay, now let me think about this for a second. If they were so concerned about Daniel Jones getting hurt and not passing, the physical, in March, why do they have him? He's the fourth string quarterback now because they signed a practice squad guy, so he's the fourth guy. Why would
How
they
can
have
he be the
him
fourth? Answer that next. Go ahead.
DeVito.
No. Why would they get it? Answer that afterwards.
Oh, but why would they have him playing safety on the scout team today? That's where he was today. Instead of taking reps, with the offense, they had him lining up at safety for the scout team to give the offense a look. You know how easy it is for somebody run a pass and then roll up on the back of the leg or whatever, tears his knee up. You know how easy it is to do. So why don't you put him in bubble wrap if you're so concerned? Put him in bubble wrap. Put him on the side, send him home. Why would you have him out there? That's just dumb.
Two things. It's not easy for someone to roll up like you were saying. What's easy is Daniel Jones actually trying to make a tackle and his dumbass getting his neck hurt. I mean, I can see that happening. Right? Daniel Jones has gone head first on plays he has it. I could see him trying to do something because he's trying to contribute. I think that's disrespectful, though. I don't know why they would do that to the kid. Don't put him on the look team. I think that's disrespectful. They shouldn't have done that. I think imagine him. They shouldn't have done that. That I've lost respect now because the kid, like you said, he's bowing out with grace, right? Why are you going to put him on look team? Like, why would you do that? It's bad enough now. You told me he's the fourth string. I mean, I'm going to ask you, how do you have four? Because I thought you could only have 3 plus, right? You can't have 4. But I thought you couldn't have 4.
Well, they signed the practice squad guy.
But he's on the practice squad, though.
But he's going to be the third string emergency quarterback on Sunday.
So Daniel has no chance of getting in.
None.
So Jones will be inactive. He'll be a healthy scratch.
That's what I meant. He'll be right. Wow, he's just thought, man, that I feel bad. I mean, I mean, look, I could understand them trying to like, hey, protect him. He has some trade value, right? At least they're going to trade him, not just give him away. Maybe they'll give him to like the Giants. I mean, to to
Nah, they can't
somebody.
even trade him.
There's not even a team in our league that he can go to. I mean, he can't take Jaden Daniels' spot. He's not going to take Jalen Hurts' spot, and he ain't taking Dax.
They're just going to release him. That's all they're going to do. They're going to get nothing for him, because
He's got some trade value. He does have trade value.
Nah, they're just going to
financially they're okay because the guaranteed money was just in the first 2 years of the contract. Everybody talked about 4-year $160 million contract. That was really a 2-year deal for $80 million, and now they could cut him next year and have very little consequences because they already paid most of the guaranteed money. So financially for the Giants, they're fine. They will release him, and he'll go somewhere else.
But based on that, think about it. Based on that, how does Shane and Dable still have their jobs, right? Because now you've had your two more key players at the time, right? Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, and now you're not getting anything in return for those two players. It's nothing. In fact, you're getting embarrassed by your own division rival. How do they still have jobs? Right? Because if you get nothing for Daniel Jones and you decided to bank on him and not Barkley, then he goes and is lighting it up. Okay. Now you get rid of Daniel Jones and you get nothing in return. I mean, that's bad business, bro. That is just bad, bad business.
Dable sold them a bill of goods that he can make Daniel Jones into Josh Allen. He was supposed to have been
the
quarterback whisperer. Just for that, it should be a fireable offense, but it's not.
And what about Shane on Hard Knocks?
Yeah,
he didn't care about Barkley. We didn't pay this guy $40 million hand off the ball.
Well, guess what? Philadelphia down the highway is doing it. They got a $50 million quarterback,
and they're handing off the ball to a guy who's about to be he has an MVP chance.
No, but I'm just saying, as far what is he making? $15 million or whatever Barkley's making down there. So you got a $50 million quarterback handed off to. So why couldn't the Giants do the same thing? What was the big deal? What was the big deal? And there's and we're still talking about fixing the offensive line. People don't they didn't look at the fact that in the last draft when he drafted Evan Neal, who's been a bust so far, there were two other linemen that they took in the draft. One of them is god awful, and they already cut the other one. So why what about that? He was brought in to fix that, Shane. So Shane should be on the chopping block, just like Joe Douglas in the Jets, where he gets fired too, because he hasn't done anything.
Yep. And so I am. Are we on the same page that somebody should get fired, whether it's both of them or one of them? I think Shane first over Dable, but because I think Shane is the one who really messed this up. I mean,
but that's his guy. He bought him there from Buffalo.
I understand, but all I'm saying on this panel right now, do we agree at least one of them or both of them should be fired this year?
Definitely one. Definitely Shane. Dable probably, but definitely Shane.
Definitely Shane.
Yeah, just for the Saquon Barkley debacle, he should be fired for that all by himself.
Yes, that alone. But the fact that you have your two prime position players and you're not bargaining anything for them, at least get something. You can't get anything.
Zero. Nothing.
All right. Let's move on. This is too sad. This is just too sad. Too sad. All right, let's go. I got up next here. I got a lot of stuff before we get to my buddy Joe stuff. All right. How about this? Oh yeah. We like that. Yeah, we like that. Okay. It looked like the Dallas was okay for a little bit and then just blew off. They are dreadfully awful. Jason Kelsey made an interesting comment. He said, look, you have Micah Parsons. Dan Quinn saw Micah Parsons. He goes, you know what? This kid is so good. I got to build my entire defense around him. And he did. He goes, but Jason, they asked him about the Dallas. He goes, look, we only beat them one time here in AT&T Stadium. So Dallas is always tough. He goes, but I'll be honest with you. I think his opinion was that their defense overperformed. Like, they weren't as good as everyone thought, and they're being exposed. He goes, Micah Parsons is the real deal. Don't get me wrong. He's saying, but he was saying their defensive tackles were overperforming. And look how they're performing now. Look how they running against them was always easy, right? So he was just saying, I just think those are the pieces. And now you got two players that are eating up 53% or more of your salary cap. What are you going to do with Micah Parsons? He's not a guy that you can find all the time. Micah Parsons is a real deal, but they got problems in Dallas. And remember, we were concerned all year. Either Jerry's just losing it, something's going on, because this was the most quiet we ever heard Dallas in the offseason. Byron?
Yeah, they were pretty quiet. They didn't address, any of the things that they should have. They lost a corner. The Bland, the guy that intercepted all those passes, ran it back for touchdowns. He got injured early. The interior of that defensive line is nowhere near what it should be. Even though they did draft, the one kid, number one, tackle, and he's terrible. But a lot of people running like off tackle them because they have, Parsons and DeMarcus, Lawrence is the other guy on the other side, and they're kind of small defensive end. They're basically defensive ends, and they're at 240 and 250 pounds or whatever they are, and that's where they're having a lot of the problem, because people just running off the edge because they're sealing these guys down and just running off the edge, and they're just not playing very well at all on defense. And Jerry Jones has no answer for anything was going on, and it didn't help that Dak got hurt, and now they got Cooper Rush. The guy, he's not a bad quarterback, but it's just
Cooper
Rush. No running game to rely on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cooper Rush. Yeah, he has no running game. Back there, and the only guy you really got to worry about is CD Lamb. He's going to get his, but everything else is just like a train wreck.
Joey?
You think the Giants have problems because they have a dummy at general manager. The Cowboys have a dummy as an owner. Jerry Jones is such a joke. My goodness. The dude is so out of touch. First of all, as an owner, where do you get off saying that you're the general manager? What is wrong with this picture? Come on, man. The owner thinks that he's a general manager. Get out of here. You know what? I'm an owner too, because I have a fantasy football team. That makes me that makes me as qualified as Jerry Jones to run a team. Come on. The way that he runs the team and the way that he waits till the last possible minute for when somebody has a contract up and pays them the maximum amount and loses millions of dollars is just hilarious. They're a losing franchise with a terrible coach. McCarthy sucks, but it's just the same old thing every year. And now they have a couple injuries and they fall apart because they have like a couple good players and the rest are scrubs. And when the stars are hurt, forget about it. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
Well, you got to admit, this is the worst Dallas has ever been. Though even though they're one and done in the playoffs. I mean, I haven't seen this bad of a Dallas team. I don't remember, Byron. Do you? I mean,
long time.
This is bad. I mean, this is like crumbling bad. Like just like the walls are caving in. It's Armageddon bad. You know what I mean? You got a salary cap issue for the future. I mean, it's terrible. Look, as a general manager, Jerry's done a pretty decent job. Okay.
What? Whoa.
Come on, man. Look at their record over the last several years, dude. Look at their record. Look at their record.
You said he's done a pretty good job as a general manager.
Yes.
They haven't been to a Super Bowl in 30 years. That's the object of the whole thing, to get to the Super Bowl.
But wait a second. One of the objectives of a general manager is to put talent on the field. You cannot tell me that Dallas hasn't put talent on the field. They've put talent on the field. His draft picks are Micah Parsons, CD Lamb. I mean, take a look at his draft picks. I mean, they've put up numbers. You could say whatever you want about that. He puts up numbers. Tony, I understand that, Byron, but from a general manager standpoint, okay, wait a second. Okay, who do you think has done a better job of putting talent on the team, Jerry Jones or Shane?
Oh, come on, you can't even compare. You can't even compare those.
You're right. Tell me who's worse.
Cowboys had a better record.
who's worse on talent-wise? Just pure talent, man for man. I guarantee you can name more Cowboys that Jerry's picked than Shane has in the same period.
You know
Think
who's
about
worse?
the guys you just mentioned. Evan Neal. Look at all the players you mentioned offensively that the Giants have picked, and they're busts. They're doing a terrible job. Daniel Jones was a
And what-
pick. A terrible
and what-
job.
And what is the Cowboys?
Saquon Barkley was
done?
their best pick. I'm sorry?
I said, but what have they done? They haven't done anything. The
Okay,
ultimate
but
goal
I'm-
is to get to
I'm-
the Super Bowl.
Byron,
Period.
you're right. But don't use that as a
I know.
scapegoat. I'm just saying,
I
put
am gonna
talent
use
on the
that.
field. You put talent on the field. Come on, Byron. You're better than
Yeah,
that.
but what
Just-
have they? What have
You-
they
if
done?
someone
with all
asked
the
you if he
talent?
wasn't
What-
the owner, if he was just pure a guy that said he put talent on the field and it was the owner that was mad. Let's make believe there was Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones Jr. Jerry Jones Jr. is the general manager for the last years,
Steven.
and Jerry Jones
Steven.
Sr.
Steven.
Okay, just make believe it's the
Steven.
same guy. I'm just
His
saying it's
name
the
is-
same guy,
Got it.
right? Is the owner. You're going to blame the owner, Jerry Jones, is the meddlesome coach, is the guy who gets in the way, is the guy who doesn't give Jimmy Johnson the Ring of Honor until 20-something years. It's the guy who gets rid of Jimmy Johnson, okay? That's the owner. Joey?
Okay.
I mean, you can't argue that they have had a very good record the past few years. So yeah, they're doing something right. But they get to that point in the playoffs where either they don't win a game or they do nothing, and nothing has changed. You know, Dak isn't good enough to take them to a Super Bowl. McCarthy isn't good enough to coach them to get higher, but they get stuck, and it's just ridiculous that a coach thinks that he could run a team, and Jerry Jones' ego is ridiculous.
Okay, but okay, these guys over 2015, 16-4. Hold on. I know. 13-3, 13-3, right? In 2016. 9-7, 10-6, then 8-8, then 6-10, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. I mean, dude, it's 36 games they won, 12-5, 12-5, 3 years in a row, right? Then they were 8-8, 10-6. I mean, 13-3 in 2015. They've put up some wins. I mean, their average is 15. What is it? No, it messes up. They put up some records. I mean, look, and if I go into stats, Tony Romo put up stats. Dak has put up stats. I mean, think about it. Before those guys, it was Troy Aikman. But that's when Jimmy Johnson was coaching.
It was a long time between Troy Aikman and
Tony
and Dak
Romo, no,
Prescott.
not on Tony Romo.
Okay.
Right. Tony Romo put up numbers.
Hmm.
Okay. Dak put up numbers. Okay. The only consistent problem is Jerry Jones. Okay. How many Pro Bowl players they've had over the years? I mean, come on.
A lot.
Exactly. Now, that fact that they can't win, you could say the same argument about Baltimore. How many MVPs is this guy have? And he keeps blowing. He's terrible in the playoffs. Okay. Josh Allen is great. He's 4-4 against and we'll talk about that. He's 4-4 against Mahomes, and 3 of those losses were in the playoffs to Mahomes. So, look, I'm not a Cowboy fan. You guys know it. I'm just making the observation of that as an owner, he is the problem, right? And then, I'm going to go into the next question, but he's the problem as an owner. Unfortunately, Byron, when we decide to choose when football is a sport and when it's a business. From the business perspective, he's done a hell of a job as a business owner. From an owner that is meddlesome and is not allowing his team to flourish and win, he's the problem. And I don't think McCarthy is a good coach either, because some of his decision making, some of the things he's done, I just think they got a problem. And Byron, how are they going to pay Micah Parsons?
Just remember this. I don't know if you probably weren't when Eric Winters got out there and said basically that Jerry Jones is only interested in putting seats in the butts. He ain't worried about the product on the field or anymore. Because you figure when he just had that boxing debacle thing, the 72,000 people in his stadium. And is he more interested in the brand of the Dallas Cowboys instead of doing the right thing and righting the ship, or is he just worried about just making as much money as he can, for him, his family, and his legacy? Because for 30 years, they haven't done anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I thought this was the weirdest season for the Dallas Cowboys. How quiet they were in the offseason. There wasn't even when they weren't doing anything offseason, they would make some statement. Something would happen that they were always relevant in the news. This is the only year they were relevant. No one said anything about them. There was total silence.
They did nothing. It was very weird.
And look what happened.
Imagine the Cowboys with Derrick Henry. They'd be really good right now.
What about Saquon Barkley?
There you go. Yeah.
He had two running backs on the market.
Yeah.
He had two running backs on the market. Oh, he wouldn't really fit in our system. Are you crazy? Now we're gonna get into that in a few minutes. Okay, here's a question from my guy Joe from the Laureate that I wanted to bring up. Move on a little bit here because I want to get into some other good stuff. What do you think about Shador and Dion coming to the Cowboys? Is that even possible?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Joe, you tell me why. How?
Deion Sanders to
and
the Cowboys,
the combo, the
combo. Yeah, they would. Now the thing is, where do we know that the Sanders kid? How good is he? Where is he going to go in the draft?
Predicted going first
overall.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Cowboys better start losing some serious games. They better not win the rest of the way, and hope that the other teams don't win to get, or at least to get close to that. So if they got to trade up, then it won't be too bad of a trade. But I could totally see something like that happen because Deion Sanders is like the Jerry Jones of coaches. Jerry Jones is all about me, look at me. He's all about just getting attention for himself. That's exactly how Deion Sanders is. They would be perfect for each other. It would end spectacularly because I think it would be a massive failure, but still it would be basically ESPN would have to create a new channel just for those two. I could totally see that happening. I could also totally see them getting Bill Belichick. I could see them one or the other, but I think the Cowboys will go after a high profile hire. But yeah, I could totally see Deion Sanders and his son going to the Cowboys. Totally.
Byron,
I don't see any way for him to get there because I think the number one pick probably is going to be the Travis Hunter.
That's true.
Probably, maybe. Then the Cowboys would have to trade up, to get 1, 2, or 3. As far as getting,
you still got Dak's contract. You guys haven't even mentioned Dak's contract. How are you gonna get out of that?
They'll trade him to somebody. Some sucker will take him. Some sucker will definitely take him. I hate saying it like that, but it's true. Somebody will take that and that $60 million contract. Oh, we're one quarterback away. And Dak could push us over the mountaintop, and that's exactly what happened. But I don't think Deion and Jerry Jones together, man, that would be just, they could have, like, Joe said, they could be a whole show all by himself with just those two, because I'm sure it would be fireworks every single day. But yeah, I don't see the Cowboys. No.
Why no?
Just because it would be too many moving parts. You got to figure out who, a trading partner to take Dak, because you can't have both of them there. So now, and I don't think other teams would trade up with the Cowboys to let them pick that guy, because the Giants need a quarterback. There you go. And then, speaking of that for a second, there's a lot of things up here that they don't feel that the Giants would pick a black quarterback. That's going on up here too, that they don't feel that organization would pick a black quarterback, even though, and I've had to tell people they have drafted a black quarterback. Andre Woodson from Kentucky.
What was in the backup? Wasn't the backup black a couple of years ago?
No, but they're saying no. The question was that the Giants have never drafted a black quarterback, and it's not true.
Okay.
And they did. They, it was 2008 or 9, whatever year it was Andre Woodson, a kid from Kentucky. And it was like the things I see with the Giants, they they never picked Deion Sanders because of black coach and this, and they just make everything about race when it's not about race. It's who does a good job. I don't care if you're blue, pink, green, or whatever color. You do a good job, it is what it is. All that other stuff, take that and throw it right at the window because there's no room in my head or anybody else's head, as far as that kind of stuff is concerned.
Well, here my thing is one, them getting up in the draft to be able to pick them, it would be a challenge. Two, I think it's going to be hard to shovel off Dak's contract, right? I mean, just on performance, he's been injured. He's been injured the last 4 years a couple times, right? So he's already been injured. He's got a hip injury. Now he's got his hamstring injury. I think that's a problem. I don't think he's easily tradable as you think. That's one. Two, I can't see. I think Deion. I don't agree with you, Joe. I don't think Deion is prime or whatever, but he's performed everywhere he's been. I mean, he's got Colorado. It's not a good. I mean, they're still little, and he still got them balling out. I mean, he did it at. I mean, he's won in everything and anything he's done. So whether he does it in NFL, I think he'll be successful. I just don't think that. I don't think there's room in Cowboys for those two egos. I don't think, unless Jerry's finally going to relinquish, Deion needs control. You know what I mean? And look at Parcells. Parcells was out of there quickly. He needs controls. Belichick, I can't see him there because, Belichick needs control. You know what I mean? And Jerry's not willing to do that for anybody. And if everything we're saying about what he wants with Jerryland and all this, it's just, I don't think, one, if it happens, I don't think it's a good move for Deion. But I think that there's more a possibility of them getting Deion than having both of them together. That's what I just don't think that's going to happen, right? I don't think it's going to be easy to trade for the call. Think about all the quarterbacks that are getting paid now. And then look at all the guys that are drafting quarterbacks, the Jordan Loves, the Jalen Daniels. Why pay $60 million and take that contract when you're seeing all these quarterbacks that are being productive right out of college? Like, why would you do that? Like they're drafting the quarterbacks are performing. I mean, Caleb Williams went to the Bears, but he still has potential. Justin Fields is still a pretty good quarterback. I mean, there's still quarterbacks coming out of college that are still really good, right?
Because when you draft one, you have the chance of getting Daniel Jones.
But you can't draft out of Duke, right? And if you look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix played 60 games. He played a lot of football. Archie Manning, okay? Archie Manning Jr., he's not getting out. All the Mannings played 4 years. Did you know that? Peyton was the only one that was about to leave in his junior year, and he decided to stay to try to win a national championship. He played 4 years at Tennessee. Eli played 4 years at Ole Miss. I think Archie played all his 4 years. Back then, it was custom to play 4 years.
You didn't have
right?
no choice.
Right. Back then, yeah, exactly. But, what's his name? The quarterbacks that are playing well, they played a lot of football. You know what I mean? They played a lot of football. And that's why these guys that are coming out of USC 1 year in 16 games, 16 games in college, they ain't going to really cut it in the NFL, right?
Look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix played a lot of
60 games in college. 60 games he played.
And look how well he's doing now.
Because he played a lot of football. Right. So, I mean, I don't see that happen. I just wanted to bring that up for Joe. I think, is it a possibility? Somehow they're seeing the Raiders, right? They think that, that may be a good place for Shedeur. I think Antonio Pierce is on the market. He's probably not going to be there after this year. The Raiders aren't doing that well. They may have a chance to get that number one pick. I could see the Sanders clan going to the Raiders. Why? You also got Brady as an owner, right? So you got Brady as an owner, Deion as a coach, Shedeur as a quarterback. I could see that happening there, right? And I could see what's his name, the guy who just went to the Jets, right? Oh man, I forgot. I can't remember his name. The receiver going back to the Raiders.
Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Byron.
I don't see Deion coming to professional football because
He's
dealing
leaving
with
Colorado.
nah, he's not. I don't think he is because dealing with the college kids is different than dealing with a pro. You could, he's bringing in, he brought in Warren Sapp and he brought in all these, NFL players to Colorado. They can relate better with these kids. When you go to the pros, man, they don't care about who Warren, all right, he's a, Hall of Famer, blah, blah, blah. And that stuff's not going to work with a pro athlete. It really not. It's just a different mentality from the college to the pro level.
That's a great point because
I agree with that.
He is successful, but he is always going to hear you're not a good coach until you go to the pros. Yeah, it's nice to be a nice college coach, and that's fine. But until you make it in the NFL, then you're not really that good of a coach, and that's what's going to drive him.
Right. And I think he's won at every level, number one. And look, he's going to get respect to those guys. He's got Super Bowl rings. He's delivered. Those guys are respected. They're enamored when he walks in. Right? He walks in, they got respect. I mean, there's guys that say when they talk to Randy Moss,
college
when
kids.
they talk,
college kids, yeah,
NFL players,
college kids, yeah, nah, not all of them.
That's not going to fly with pro players.
Okay, I disagree. I think he's good. I think he'd do well in the NFL, and I think those guys are going to respect him because he's been there, done it, and won it. Right? He's done it at every level,
but he hasn't done it as a coach.
Okay, but he hasn't had the chance either. I mean, look at Pat Riley. Pat Riley's won at every level. Every level. 25% of the NBA championships, Riley's been part of. 25%. As a player, coach, and an executive. So, look, I think Deion will do well. I think he's done a great job for Colorado to be in the top 20, right? And it's Colorado. Come on, guys. I mean, and they're not big. He's done something with them, and yeah, they're college kids, but still to turn around a program in 2 years, come on, man, you got to give him some kudos. Kudos.
Very impressive.
The transfer portal is how he did it.
Okay,
he got
That's fine.
But everyone else has access to
exactly.
it.
Everybody else can do the transfer portal too.
Yeah, and they do. But I'm saying that's the way he built that program in Colorado. Most kids ain't gonna want to go, Colorado, 5-star, until Travis Hunt, and even him, where did he get him from? He came from Jackson State with Deion there. This year I think they just
Deion's
signed a 5-star,
Deion probably was the only coach. Because Deion's probably the only coach that guaranteed you're going to play both ways, kid. Like Deion's, he changed it. He changed the C to D and L, dogs and leaders. Like, I mean, he took a totally different approach to bringing a winning mentality to the game. Look, I'm a Deion Sanders fan, so I'm gonna leave that to go. Let's move off of this right now. Let's go real quick because I want to get into some of the Pittsburgh stuff. Washington versus Philly. I'm surprised Eric didn't come on because he was so excited about that. I still think is Philly the real deal, and I'm going to start this one off because I'm letting everyone know. I'm still not convinced with Philly. I think Washington will beat them a second time. Number one, I think Philly again has the talent, has a team. I think if they do it right with Barkley, they have the opportunity. I still something smells funny in the kitchen, and listen to me, they barely beat Jacksonville. They lost by 5. By poor coaching and decisions and a poor decision by Trevor Lawrence, okay? Detroit dismantled Jacksonville, okay? So they're on-off. They're good. They have a good game. They haven't really, they've had 2 games where they've blown out players. Washington's a good team, but they're young, right? And look, they beat them 26-18, and look, Barkley went off. But it's Philly. I still think Detroit's the team to beat in the NFC, number one. And I think Philly's a good team. I'm not sold on them being as good as I think they should be. Joey?
Yeah, Detroit is the clear number 1 team in the NFL. But I think Philadelphia is figuring it out. I think they did have some problems, but I think they figured it out. And I think they're going to get even better. There's too much talent on that team. My goodness, they're loaded with talent everywhere. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back.
But they've been there. They've had that for 3 years, except for the running back.
And they have a good defense too. was that Jalen Carter or whatever, he's becoming a superstar. They have too much talent. And yes, the coach is an idiot. Well, I don't want to say an idiot, but he's a problem. But I think Philadelphia is figuring it out. Remember, they had new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. They had a whole bunch of change, but I think they've settled in, and I think they are, I'd say, top 5 team in the NFL.
Byron?
They finally decided to let the ball in that guy's hands, number 26. I'm not mentioning his name again. Everything runs through. I know. Everything runs through number 26. They figured that out. The only problem is that once they get down to the goal line, they're going to do the tush push. Jalen scores another touchdown instead of turning around giving the ball to the guy. Got him all the way down there. But people don't realize how good their defense is right now. That's what's going to carry them. Their defense is way better. It doesn't get the credit that it should. For like the front line, the linebackers, and the back. They got 2 rookies. Cooper DeJean, the kids, and Quinyon Mitchell. Mitchell, I think. They shut down corners. Them guys are good. They got Slay sitting on the side. They still have James Bradbury still around. People forgot all about him. They have 4 good corners. So,
and that's what hurt them in the past.
Well, guess what? Not anymore, because they have loaded up with DBs, kind of like what Kansas City did as far as drafting all the defensive backs, and they're going to be a force to reckon with. And people forget that Detroit Lions have lost a lot of guys through injury. Hutchinson, they just lost the linebacker, the captain linebacker, and they're dealing with a lot of injuries with Detroit too. So it's going to be kind of interesting, toward the end of the season where these teams line up.
You fool me once, that's it. You fool me twice. I'm not convinced until they play consistent football. They've had a good defense for years, though. I mean, their defense in the Super Bowl, that was my biggest. Remember, I picked them to win the Super Bowl that year, and they didn't adjust their defense. They didn't do anything, and they had how many sacks did they have? 70-something sacks.
Yeah, it's like 73.
Okay. 72, 73 sacks. How many rushes and how many sacks they have in the Super Bowl?
Not many.
0. You can't go negative back. You can't go a negative sack, can you, Byron? Can you have a negative sack?
You can't. No.
Then they had 0. They had 0. They didn't adjust. So, hey, look, for Eric, I like to see them do well. I really want to see Washington rise. I'm happy for Jaden Daniels and so forth, but I'm not convinced that they're the team until they put back-to-back really good games in. If they come back and have another good game, then I'll be saying switching gears. I still think Detroit is. Jared Goff is playing some of the best football of his life, right? I mean, 5 interceptions and he still wins the game, then comes back the next week and blows it up against Jacksonville. And I don't know how Peterson still coach. All right, let's get into Joey Bagdud's game here, which I got some stuff to get on Byron about. All right. The Pittsburgh is 18-16. Joey, what went wrong for the Ravens and what went right for Pittsburgh?
It was an apps. Every time the Steelers and Ravens get together, it's just like brawl. It's just violence. And the Baltimore has a very good offense. The Steelers have a pretty good offense. If people thought it would be high scoring, no, it was low scoring. It was a fight. The Steelers didn't even score a touchdown. It's got 6 field goals. I'm not sure what happened with Baltimore because that's a very good offense that the Steelers stopped. I mean, the Steelers defense is very good, but it's just a unique thing. It's just hard to describe because whenever these 2 teams get together, they just beat each other up, and that's just how it is. And yeah, Steelers were able to come out on top.
Byron, I know what I got to say about that. I can't wait to go. I'm about to go off, Byron.
I know. For some reason, Baltimore doesn't like giving Henry the ball as much as they should. They should feed him the ball. 20,
what?
25.
Oh, my God. What'd you say?
You got to feed him.
How many times did you give him the ball? How many times?
Give him a whole ball. 20,
Joey.
25, 30. I don't care. Just turn
really?
my hand and go to him.
Okay, well, do you not remember the last podcast? Yeah, you said it. What did you say last time? Well, you don't want to wear him down. You can't get him. That's why I was going to argue with him. Wait, now. Deny deflect?
No, for these games, you do wear them down. Here, turn around, give them the ball 20, 25, 30 times a game because the passing game wasn't working. And,
Sadio, please pull the recording where Byron said, "Don't, you can't wear him down." No, he's getting old. He's
Roll the
getting
tape.
old. Roll the tape. He's getting old. This is why I was coming after you. Give him the ball. How many times did they give Henry the ball in the fourth quarter? 0 times. How do you give that guy the ball 0 times in the fourth quarter?
because Todd Monken is not calling a good game. Their offensive coordinator. That's his fault.
And Joe, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that Pittsburgh won. But as commentators, we got to analyze, what are you doing? Like, how do you give the guy 13? That guy needs 20 carries every game. I don't care who you're playing. Give him the ball. You know, that's the only reason. Why do you think oh my God, now I'm losing. You got me so whacked up. Why do you think Lamar Jackson's still in the running for MVP? Because the ball's in his hands all the time.
All the time.
Right? And wasn't Derrick Henry was right there in the MVP race with him? Well, when you give him the ball less, he's got less chance of making the MVP. He's the guy who makes a difference on him. I mean, he puts up, look at their record when he has the ball, when he gets the ball 18 to 20 times. I don't think they've lost. And how do you not give the guy, Derrick Henry, the ball in the fourth quarter? How do you not give him the ball?
Because it's Steelers-Ravens. That's why. Because the Steelers are 8-1 against the Ravens in their last 9 games. And they have this thing of, I know you want me to run, and we like to run, and I know that you know that I want to run, so I'm not going to run. I'm going to go 3 wide and all this stuff. They totally psyched each other out. And that's why he didn't run, because it was a psychological game.
And Joe, you got to admit, that 2-point conversion, that was terrible. That the Baltimore tried. Why are you running to the left side?
And you know what?
You're a right-handed quarterback. Even if it didn't work on the other side, at least you had a better chance of throwing the ball. They didn't have Henry in.
Thank you. I was just going to say that.
They didn't have Derrick Henry in. You couldn't run the ball. And then you run it to your left. It was a terrible play to begin with. You know what I mean? It was a terrible play. Well, look, it was a terrible play. There was guys arguing on the thing. Well, it could have been another way. It would have been brilliant if he would have got it. I don't never understand running a quarterback, especially with the talent of Lamar Jackson, to his weak side. I don't understand that, right? At least he can make something happen running to his right side. Don't even have a receiver possible. It was a pure Lamar Jackson run play to his left side. So think about it. He's got to turn. He's a right-handed quarterback, get the ball with his strong hand on the ball, and then he's got to turn to his left. That's uncomfortable. Just do it. Just try it yourself. All of us are righties. Try going this way, and then try going to your right. What do you think feels more comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, you just tried it, Joe, right? It's not as comfortable.
It's weird.
It's weird. You just realize that's weird. Yeah, I played quarterback for a little bit. It's not easy. Like going, it's more natural moving to your right as a right-hander. It's more natural moving to your left as a left-hander, right? And your first step is right. It was just terrible. I was happy. And by the way, Pittsburgh, which should win the game tonight, solidifies Tomlin 17 years straight with a winning record in a 17-game league. That is not easy.
I'm going to start again. How many Super Bowls has he won?
He's won 1.
He's won.
He's won 1.
2.
No, he's won 1.
Yeah, he's won 1.
Won 1 with Ben, and Cowher won with Ben. Ben won 2 with 2 different coaches.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so now here's the next question, Joe. Are the Steelers a Super Bowl confirmed?
Yes. Yes, they are. If they win tonight, they're going to have a nice lead in the AFC North. If they win the AFC North, they're going to get, a top 3 seed in the AFC. They're going to host a playoff game. So at the very least, they'll probably, win at least one playoff game. And then,
Joe, can you get tickets?
Maybe. I would like to be there.
I fly in. I'll fly in.
There you go. If you're buying, I'm definitely going.
I pay for my ticket.
Yeah, They have a great defense, and now they have a very good offense with
They
Russell
got a
Wilson.
great defense.
Yeah. And that's all they needed was with that great defense was they needed just an average offense helps a lot. And so the possibilities are very high for the Steelers right now.
Byron?
Yeah, that is true. Yep, they got it. They got the quarterback now. The running game.
Oh, wait, who do they have? What
They
do
got
they
the
have
other
now?
guy.
What do they
The
have?
other guy.
What do they have?
You know, the
Joe,
other guy.
that's for you too, Joe.
They have a
Remember,
running game, yeah.
You also gave me crap when I said they're going to start Wilson. Remember? Well, it's 4-2. I don't know if I would do
I
that.
had to change the name of my podcast to Victor Was Right.
Exactly. I told you. I was a Russell. Now, look, I like Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. I just think until Tomlin would have, if Tomlin didn't say, I'm not going to do it, it was destiny, Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson hasn't played in pre-training, in camp. He's only played 4 games. And the first 3, he put up over 27 points in all 3 of those games. This was the first game that he didn't get a touchdown, right? And I think last year the Steelers won 5 games without scoring a touchdown. Is that correct, Joey?
Something like that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Without scoring a touchdown. So it's conceivable. And
It's been 2 times this year that they've won games without scoring a touchdown.
And we know teams have won on defense only. Baltimore, right? And Russell Wilson is playing good ball. He knows when to throw it away. I think there's some trouble they were saying in the red zone that he's got to get a little bit better in the red zone, right? But he's only played 4 games, right? And people are figured out, let me cover Pickett, right? So they got to get Najee Harris in the game. He's got to know how to get that out. So they got to figure that piece out and tweak it a little bit there, a little bit more. But I think they have a chance at the Super Bowl. Now, you got a tough challenge because, the question is, can you get through? Here's a good question, Byron. Can they get through Buffalo or can they get through Kansas City? Because that's who you're going to have to go through. That's the challenge, right? Can Russell beat those guys? And Patrick Mahomes is tough.
Yeah, but he's not Patrick Mahomes right now.
No, he's not.
He leads the league in interceptions. The offense is not playing very well. Kelsey is not Kelsey. Maybe he might turn the key, come to playoff time, but right now he is not, Kelsey. And their offensive line is very, 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 especially the tackles are very suspect, which causes a lot of the problems that Patrick Mahomes is having right now. The offensive line is not very good. Well, the tackle, the interior are very good. The tackles are the ones that are creating a problem.
It's funny because the Chiefs are doing the same thing as the Steelers. They're winning on defense. They have a very good defense, and they just happen to have the best quarterback. But yeah, the Chiefs offense sucks.
And look, they were due for a loss. And look, they gave up 31 points, right? That defense hasn't been there. They were just due for a loss. I mean, but Patrick Mahomes is 15-11, bro. He's got 15 TDs to 11 touchdowns. I mean, he's not playing well. But remember, they weren't playing well last year until they got to the playoffs. He had a lot of turnovers until the playoffs, and he had 1 throughout the entire playoffs. That's what makes them dangerous, right? But, that defense for the Steelers is something else, man. I mean, that's a legit I mean, that interception strip, what was that? Was that an interception or was that a strip, Byron?
They called it an interception, but that really should have been just a fumble or a strip, whatever. That really wasn't on Lamar Jackson. I mean, the guy caught it.
So they called it an interception.
They called it an interception.
He just stripped it out of the receiver's hands.
I mean, give me this.
That was a heck of a play. You had Henry fumbling. I don't know if that caused anything in there, but at the end of the day, Cam Holmes is going to have to go through Buffalo, and he's going to have to go through Josh Allen. But if I had to pick 1 or 2, Mahomes is always going to be tough. Josh Allen, I think, I always thought he's a great quarterback, but he's a gunslinger. You don't know what you're going to get with that guy. You know what I mean? You just don't. How many times have we seen Buffalo go crazy hot and then just plummet, and then go really bad and then get really hot, right? I mean, this league has been, and look what happened, Buffalo, right? You could say whatever you want about Pittsburgh, but I mean, the Ravens, at one time we thought the Ravens were a Super Bowl, like they were putting up numbers, they were doing all this stuff, and they just I don't know what's happening there, right? Not giving the ball to Henry was terrible, but happy for the Steelers. I think they got a chance at the Super Bowl. I think that's why Russell Wilson is playing, and that's why they're there, right? They need to get him ready to be able to, if they're going to put something up, put something up. The guy that I feel bad about is Burrows. Burrows is putting up better numbers than anybody in the league, and he's doing something. I mean, look at it. He had no interceptions, 300 something yards, 3 TDs, and it gets crushed.
And who do we blame that on? The defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
mean, he's maybe the best. That's maybe the second best offense in the league, and they can't win a game.
And
it's just it's ridiculous.
And he's putting up crazy numbers. I mean, crazy numbers. Let me see what he's putting up.
Like Chase has over 1,000 yards and receiving already.
Exactly.
Maybe he'll get 2,000.
He might.
Listen. We told you Patrick Mahomes, who's still considered the greatest quarterback, great quarterback, and he is. He's 15-11. Burrows is 27 TDs to 4 interceptions. He's thrown for 3,000 yards.
Already.
He's only got 4 interceptions out of 27 TDs.
6,000 yards.
He's thrown for 3,000 yards. Okay? I mean, that is crazy. That is crazy. Look at his quarterback rating. He's like, his lowest rating is 84. But he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He has over 100% rating. And they're losing. I mean, that's what happens when you're just on a bad team, man. I mean, that's and what's their record? They're like 2 and something, no?
3 and
3 and
7
or
like
something,
that.
8, whatever.
What are we in 2000? Let's see. 24. His rating right now is 106. His overall rating. Look at he's at 3,000 yards right now. His best year was 4,600. He's got another half of the season, right? Almost a half of the season to
he's
put up.
definitely passing that.
He's right. QB. What are the QB leaders? All right, let's keep going here. Let me see. Let's get through a few more things in here. All right, Steelers Browns. They should win this game. Let me see what the score. It was 3-0 last time I checked.
Browns are driving.
Who's the quarter? Hey, let me tell you, Jameson Winston is putting up some numbers.
They should have went to him. If the Browns went to Jameis Winston at the beginning of the season, they would have won a lot more games.
Yeah.
He's not bad.
Yeah, but how do you do that? Like, look, here's where I was wrong, okay? I was wrong because I predicted that Deshaun Watson, his success or failure was going to hurt or help the quarterback position. And obviously it didn't. You know what helped the quarterback position? Trevor Lawrence. Because once Trevor Lawrence signed that $25 million deal, that's where everybody else went off. 30 million, 30. I mean, remember, then it was the receiver market. But I was wrong with Deshaun Watson, but you agreed. That was a $200-something million guaranteed deal. I can't imagine they're going to do that again, but that was the worst mistake. I mean, how many games has he played in 3 years? And now he's not even playing, right? And now he's not even playing.
It's a complete disaster. And yeah, they made an example of him because the rest of the league was very upset with Cleveland that they gave Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed. That was fully guaranteed. And they thought, oh, this is the future. Like now everybody's quarterback is going to want a fully guaranteed deal. And now that Deshaun Watson has failed, then that idea is gone now.
Right, but I thought it was going to affect the market, and it didn't. Remember, like that was my whole point. I was like, that is going to hurt or make quarterbacks, right? And it didn't. But once Lawrence signed, and look how bad he's doing, right?
Yeah,
and then Dak gets hurt, and then these, look at these quarterbacks. They make it $55, $60 million. I mean, how much Brock Purdy's going to make? Brock Purdy's going to make at least $50 million.
or more.
You think? Man, that's some payday for a miss. There's definitely going to be a movie about that guy.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that. We got here. Okay, Chiefs suffered their first loss, and Larry Zonko was the only one of the only leftover Dolphins to celebrate. That I thought that run by Josh Allen was incredible. I also thought them putting up 31 points was not a Spags defensive team, but also Chiefs had some key turnovers. That was just terrible. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. We'll go from there. Hey, you got to give some credit to Tua to come back off that injury, even though he's lost 2 of the 3 games. He's been putting up 20-something points a game when he's there. They were scoring 10, and they won their last game. You know what I mean? So he's got to either run the table to have something. What do you think about the Jets firing Joe Douglas?
No, not the Jets. Aaron Rodgers.
Is Aaron Rodgers fired him?
Yeah, blame him on that. Blame him.
That's
that
not
coach.
even Aaron Rodgers. Now there's another idiot owner. The owner, Woody Johnson. The owner decides that he's going to run the team now, and basically told Douglas, get out of here. I'll run the team on my own. You gotta be kidding me, folks. There's people that are trained and that's supposed to know football. Not just because you own a team doesn't mean you know anything about football, you dummies. What is he buddies with Jerry Jones or something?
No, he'll be going back to be the ambassador Ireland or wherever he was. He'll probably be going back real soon.
Probably.
So he won't be around much. His brother will be running the team next 3 months.
Guys, but I'm telling you, the biggest. This is my understanding is Rodgers is probably going to retire this year, right? Let me tell you something. That's a terrible way to go out. And look, getting rid of Robert Saleh was the biggest mistake. You know that they're averaging 9 more points giving up on defense, and they're giving up an additional 100 yards a game. And remember, my biggest claim to fame was Robert Saleh with no quarterback over the last 2 years. His defense gave up 19.8 something points per game. Rodgers is like 80 something in 3, 80 something in 4 when his team is held to less than 20 points. You get rid of the coach who was the guy behind the defense. That was just terrible. And then your team looks terrible. Then you get your buddy Devontae Adams there. And I'm hoping for a light. You know what I mean? And they just look bad. I mean, it's a bad team. Who do you think is the worst team in football, Byron?
Worst team in football?
Yeah.
The rudderless New York Giants.
Joe?
That's tough. There's so many. There's the Jaguars. There's the Carolina Panthers. There's the Giants. There's possibly the Jets. There's so many bad teams right now. I'm going to say the Jaguars because they should have fired their coach a long time ago. I don't know what their problem is. They just quit on the coach.
Yeah.
Dougie P.
Okay, but here's something I want to put that I called. Didn't I call Justin Herbert with Harbaugh?
No.
I told you. Yes, I did. I said first of all, yes, I did because Joey and I had that beautiful, awesome rant on why Staley fire him. They should have got rid of. They hurt that kid in the worst way. That kid lost the first 4 years of his career. Would you agree with that, Joe?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's how bad that idiot was. He was so bad that he held Justin Herbert back. Now Harbaugh is a good coach. You go from the worst coach ever to a very good coach. Look at the difference it makes.
Look, man,
Chargers are winning like crazy.
They gave up. They're 7-3. They gave up 21 points and came back, and Justin Herbert won the game. Justin Herbert right now in power rankings is number 5. Okay, you know who's still number 1 is Lamar Jackson, and you know why? Is because you ain't giving Derrick Henry the ball. And what's their record? Their record is, let's see,
7-4.
7-4.
7-4. I mean, that's not a team that the powerhouse they were looking at. Number 2 power rankings Number one's Lamar Jackson. Number two is Joe Burrow on a team that's like 2 and something, right? Okay. Josh Allen is up there. Look at Joe Burrow. He's number two, and he's the only one there with the losing record. Jared Goff is number 4. Justin Herbert's number 5. Jalen Hurts is number 6. Jaden Daniels is number 7. Brock Purdy's number 8. Kyle Murray's number 9. Patrick Mahomes is number 10. Jordan Love. Think about it. In the top 10, Burrows is number 2, and he's the only one in a losing team.
And he probably has the worst defense out of all of them.
Yeah. All right, Joe. So what's your prediction for Pittsburgh? Where are they going to run? What's your thing going on?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you think their record's going to end up being?
I think they're going to win 11 or 12 games.
Well, they're going to win 10 now. So you're going to say they're going to win
I don't
10
know.
games?
They're losing right now.
They're losing right now. Yeah,
They are. They're losing 7-3. They just gave up the ball.
It's 7 points and it's early. Come on, you guys last year won every game in like the fourth quarter.
That's true.
Like I don't count Pittsburgh out until the fourth quarter. Look at the Ravens game. When did you win the game? Fourth quarter.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so this is the Browns. Now I will tell you that Jameson is tough, right? I mean, that guy is hanging around. It's tough. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Good luck to Pittsburgh. I'm happy to see him. I'm happy to see Russell Wilson doing well. I think that it's interesting. Hey, again, feel bad for Daniel Jones, but it is what it is. Let's see what happens. Brock Purdy has to give guys that are on third string at least a sight of hope that, like, you better study that playbook. You better be ready to play. Because, he's proved that it can be done. It always takes the first one, right, guys? It takes someone to do something that has never been done, right? He's going to be the highest played Mr. Irrelevant in the history of the game.
Yeah, that's coming.
It's coming. And, that system quarterback stuff, no longer is going to – he's done some good job. He's done a good job there. And where are they at? Let me see here.
Ooh, the 49ers aren't doing so well this year.
5-4, 5-5 or something.
They've been hurt. They've been
They have a lot of injuries.
Rattled with injuries. All right, so we got let's wrap this up here. We got the AFC East. You got 9-2. The 9-2 Buffalo. Miami's 4-6. I mean, that division is terrible. Miami can make a run somewhere around here. Pittsburgh 8-2. Baltimore 7-4. Cincinnati's 4-7. It's terrible. 2-8. Houston 7-4. I mean, most of these divisions, the best division right now looks like it's the AFC North. Let's see. You got the South is 7-4, 5-6. You got the West is 9-1 and 7-3 and 6-5. That's a tough division, right? But I told you Denver's still going to be number 3. Sorry, John. Look at the Raiders. Remember I was telling you that they were saying that Shedeur every time the Raiders lose, he's like nice. I'm telling you, something's cooking there. Raiders are 2-8.
They're in the running.
They're in the running, right? Giants are 2-8. 8-2. Philadelphia 7-4. Washington. Dallas is 3-7. That is so nice. Detroit 9-1. Minnesota 8-2. Oh, look, the NFC North is pretty tough. With Minnesota and Green Bay. Well, Chicago's not. You got 3 of them, and then you got the South. Let me say, Atlanta. Kirk Cousins is getting paid again. Boy. Atlanta's on top, 6-5. That's probably a weak division. The West, Arizona's 6-4. Everyone thought Arizona was like this hot team. They're 6-4, 5-5. The Rams,
they're still on top.
Everybody's 5-5. Yeah, but they're on top by 1 game, dude. Like it's they're 6-4, and everybody's 5-5. Like the whole division is 5-5. So, all right, guys. All right, Joey, tell us about, how they can listen into your show. When is it? And I know it's called the Donut Bag. So tell us about your show and how they can listen to you.
Donut Bag, Mondays at 7. Hopefully I'm talking about a Steelers win. I'm a little scared right now.
Joe, don't be scared, Joe. I can't imagine Pittsburgh losing to the Cleveland. Let's see. It's on right now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the donut bag is on Monday at 7 p.m.
Yep.
And what do you go over?
It's mostly Steelers.
Mostly Steelers. All right. Jameson Winston, 72 yards. Russell Wilson, 120. Russell Wilson's 10 for 10, dude.
Yeah, he just fumbled too. So
He fumbled.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
the Browns are about to score again.
Ooh, that's not good. But you got your defense to come through. Jameson Winston's got 72 yards, 8 for 10. Well, they're both playing pretty good, 8 for 10, 9 to 2. We'll see what happens. Let's go team stats. 112. Pittsburgh's got more yards, just globally. If your offense is rolling, your defense will come through. Well, we got one fumble lost. Time of possession. Look at the Pittsburgh time of possession, 16:55. So we'll see what happens. All right, Mr. Byron Jones. So are you falling off Detroit for some reason? You said they're all injured and stuff.
They're still the best team in probably football. But my sister already jumped ship. Sonya jumped ship. She got a Detroit Lions jacket and jersey and all kinds of stuff. She's gone. She's gone. We can't. She's gone.
She did a Byron on us.
No, she did it. No, I'll say it, but I'm not going out buying a jersey and a jacket and a sweater.
No.
I ain't doing all that. That's no. But
she listens to Eminem.
Yeah, the one thing we have to look forward to on Thanksgiving Day, the Giants against the Cowboys. You're gonna have Cooper Rush against Tommy Cutlets for Thanksgiving.
Dream matchup.
Oh my
So
God!
hopefully, I don't have indigestion watching that game.
Oh my God, that is like the dope bowl, right? I mean, it's
a toilet bowl.
It's just
the tidy bowl.
The tidy bowl.
Someone was telling me they think the Giants can win that game. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's still Dallas and Giants. Where's it playing? In Dallas or Giants?
Dallas, 4:30 on Thanksgiving Day, 4:30. Everybody get to see that wonderful organization.
Oh my God. I'd like to be at the Rooney Mara Thanksgiving table with the Mara family actually serving everybody, and the Rooneys are sitting at the head of the table like, oh, thank you. You forgot my drink. Hey, where's the gravy? Oh my God. That's funny. All right, gentlemen. Well, you guys, you have a great night. God bless you and your families. Okay. Don't forget to tune in every Thursday. At what time, Mr. Byron? 8 p.m. Thursday live. If you like what you see,
put up too.
No matter what we say, people keep forgetting the time. So 8 p.m. every Thursday, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sportscast on your channels. Also, the Jersey Boy Sportscast. Smash the like button, hear it so you can hear us go crazy, go talk. Listen to Byron flip-flop every week. Don't worry about it.
Every week.
We are there for you. We are there for you. Making prediction, making bold statements. Joe's not. Is Joe frozen or he's really just got?
No, they're going for it on 4th and 6 at the 10-yard line, and they're okay. I was gonna say.
We can't leave us in suspense. So what's going on? Let's wait to see after this play, because I'm telling you, they're not going to make it, and now they didn't score.
I mean, this is the Cleveland Browns Super Bowl. They don't care that they're not going to win any more games. They just want to beat Pittsburgh. So it's very funny.
I'd go for
they're going all out.
You got to agree. You can't risk knowing that Pittsburgh's defense is going to do something.
Right.
So why wouldn't you go for it?
Right.
All right, Joe. I don't want to wait for the suspense for our fans. What do we got? What do we got? Did they pull the trigger yet? It's 4th and 6. What's happening?
I think they called a timeout, or I'm not sure.
Oh, great. We got to wait the timeout. All right. So all right, they got a TV timeout. So all right, let's hold on.
They're gonna kick the field goal.
Oh, they're gonna kick the field goal.
It's gonna be 10-3.
Okay, that's not bad, Joe.
It's not bad.
If I was Cleveland, I'd go for it. What would you do, Byron?
They have nothing to lose. Might as well go for it.
And you're playing against Pittsburgh, a good defense, and
all the points you can get.
You need as many points as possible as you can get, because Pittsburgh could still hold you to those 10 points for the rest of the game and kick 3 more field goals and win.
That's right.
You know,
right.
so there's no reason not to go for it. All right, gentlemen. God bless. Have a good night. Don't forget to tune in to the Jersey Boys Sportscast every Thursday. Don't forget the donut bag on Monday at 7 p.m. All right, Joe, let us know and let me know. I'd love to come on your show.
Yeah, I'd love to have you.
All right, sounds good, buddy. All right, gentlemen, have a good night. God bless families, and we'll talk soon. Peace.